forever. Shine bright like a diamond. Bang, bang.
What's up? Welcome back. So I know I've been gone for a little bit of time, but I promised myself I was gonna get this dresser done. So I can't wait to show you guys how I made this. Look at this dresser. Look at it. Look at those sparkles. Look at that. Also, don't judge me too, because I am an essential worker, so I have been going to work every day pretty much. So I definitely haven't had that extra spare time to be at home, to quarantine and be home. Please stay home. I work at a hospital. I don't want to see you there. Thank you. And I also did my makeup just for you guys, because I looked at past pictures and the last time that I actually did makeup was March 4th. Yeah, it's what, May 9th? May 10th? So yeah, you know I had to take a couple selfies before this, right? So I had to figure out if I still even knew how to do makeup. So if you want to know how I went from this to this, then keep watching. So let's get into this video of this dresser. Let's look at it again. Look at it again. Look at those sparkles. Sparkles. Jumping right in, I sanded this whole dresser down with my palm sander that I got off Amazon. And I'll make sure that I put everything that I used in this entire process in the description below, so that way you'll know exactly what it is that you're going to need. I took some actual sandpaper to get in those little crevices and creases around the edges of my drawers where my palm sander couldn't get to. Now I'm going to take some water-based primer and I'm going to prime this whole dresser and the drawers. Now here is my finished primed look. I primed each drawer and the dresser twice, but it's really up to you on if you want to do that. And here's the paint that I chose. I chose the Rustoleum Metallic Accents paint. I got it from Walmart. I think they sell it at Lowe's. And it also comes in like 15 other metallic colors. And I also had some extra help from my best friend's daughter, Maria. And make sure you guys go check her YouTube channel out. Her name is Maria Rainbow, and I will make sure that I put her link in the description bar below. And she is just the cutest thing, I swear she is. We also did 2 coats of paint as well. We're getting into the drawer fronts. I use Mod Podge to place on top of the drawer fronts to adhere the crushed mirror glass. So the crushed mirror glass I got from Michaels, and it is on sale for right now like $3.49, and there's a coupon. There's always a coupon at Michaels, even during this pandemic and everything that's going on. You can get curbside and use the coupon online. Oh, and shout out to my bestie Sade, who is also in the video helping me out here. I absolutely love her. Love her. Now we're just getting a paper towel, a wet paper towel, just to kind of clean up those edges of where you don't want your mirror glass to stick. This is the mirror glass that I used. It's actually just a vase filler, and it comes in multiple colors. Michaels has like 6 or 7 different colors that you can get it in. And I think the reason that it was so cheap is because it is a vase filler and not actual like official crushed mirror glass. Because everywhere else that I've seen it for way more money than $3. You also want to make sure that you cover the drawer holes so that the resin that we're eventually going to place doesn't seep through those holes. These wooden dowels that I picked up from Michaels as well, you get, I think they came with like 14 in a pack, and you're gonna want to cut them in half. So this is where the difference that I'm showing you. I would recommend not using green painter's tape. My recommendation would be to use like maybe like clear box tape or something, so that way you can pull the dowel out, because I eventually just took those out because I was scared that the resin would make those actually get stuck inside of the dresser drawer, and if I pulled the stick out and I had green tape stuck in there, I would be very pissed. So don't use green painter's tape. Use clear box tape instead if you're going to do it this way. This is the resin that I purchased from Amazon. It is 2 half-gallon bottles that you inevitably mix together to make your resin. They are 1-to-1 ratio, so you put the same amount in each cup. Also, don't reuse the cups. That's why I had bought a pack of disposable cups. So the 2 small cups are for the base resin and the hardener in one in each cup, and then that big cup in the middle is to mix them together. So the resins come in part A and part B. So I'm making a mark on my cup so that way I know exactly where to pour each part into the cup. So part A in one cup and part B in the other cup, and they have to be the same amount. Now we're going to begin mixing the 2 parts together. So pour part A in and you want to make sure you get all of the excess off the sides of the cup, because that does make a difference in making sure that they are a 1-to-1 ratio. Now you're going to pour part B into the cup, which is a way thicker substance than the part A. That is the curing agent or the hardener. So that's pretty much what makes it turn into like a hard surface after it dries. So this part right here is the workout. It's definitely an arm workout. You are going to continuously mix these two parts together for 5 minutes. So I actually set a timer on my phone to make sure that I didn't do it in too short of a time, or I didn't go over 5 minutes. So it is really important that you definitely follow all the instructions. I'm sure different epoxies are different depending on which one that you get, but this one says to mix for 5 minutes, so that's what I did. Major key alert, this right here is a heat gun, and it is pretty much vital when working with resin to get all of those little ugly air bubbles out of the resin when you pour it on there. So I recommend getting one of those. I got mine from Lowe's. It was like $20. So definitely, if you're going to do this project, invest in a heat gun. After I had already poured resin on one of the drawers that I did prior to recording, I decided that I needed more sparkle, and so I'm pouring more crushed mirror glass on top, because all it does is sink to the bottom of the resin anyways, so you don't technically need to glue it on to begin with. You can probably just pour it on and put the resin on top. But this is just what I did. I did use the Mod Podge first, and I wouldn't change what I did, but you know, whatever you feel like doing. But this is my recommendation. Mod Podge first, pour more on after if you want an extra sparkle. Now I'm just taking that resin that I had mixed for 5 minutes, and I am pouring it right on top of my crushed mirror glass. Each mixed batch of resin has a curing time, which means the amount of time that you can manipulate it while it stays in that kind of liquidy form. After that 30 minutes is up, it starts to get tacky, it starts to get warm, and you can't really move it around anymore in a liquid form. As you can also see, 1 cup isn't enough, so I used 2 full cups for each drawer. So I needed to mix another batch of resin, so that was another 5 minutes of mixing. And make sure that you do not use the same cups that you mixed that first batch in. Change cups every time that you are about to make another batch of resin. Here I am using that heat gun, and it's getting all the little bubbles, the air bubbles that are like super tiny little air bubbles that make it look cloudy out of my resin. And like I said, this is vital, major. Definitely get a heat gun. And here are our freshly poured resin drawer fronts. It says that my dry time or cure time should be about 24 hours, so I left them sitting for about a day. I also took those dowels out because I was scared that green tape was going to get stuck inside of my drawer fronts. That's why I said, if you're going to do the tape, use clear tape, so that way you can pull the dowels out and cut that tape, so that way it'll be mesh with the drawer front. Since I took those dowels out, now I need to take off the back pieces of tape, which is still important. You still do that because you don't want your resin to seep through the holes. But I now have to drill the holes for myself, which you can do. You can drill through the resin and it will not crack it or break it. So I took a pen just to make like the initial first hole, pressed really hard into the resin. And when you're drilling, make sure you don't drill really fast because the friction from the drill is hot and that resin can melt. So you just don't want to go really fast. And if you are going to go fast, have some cold water nearby to kind of pour right over top of the resin just to cool it down. I got these drawer pulls from Amazon. I think they were like $12 for 8. And I also had to purchase longer screws. So I went to Lowe's and I purchased some longer screws because the screws that came with the drawer handles were too short after you put the resin on top. So here's the drawer and what it looks like with the pulls attached. So you're just going to put all your drawer pulls on all of your drawers, and after that you should be finished. Just clean up the dust, wipe down everything, and that's all. And here we have it, our completed dresser. I hope that you can incorporate some of these tips and tricks that I give in to do your own dresser or desk, any kind of furniture. Just look at those sparkles. Oh my god.
And we're done. So, thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you next time. Bye.